So good thing I thought about this, because when they asked to send the keyboard, I'm like, wait a minute, how am I going to connect it to, I mean, you can connect this to your computer or iPad without anything, but I have actual other gear, and they're like, oh, you can use one of these. So this is called a wireless MIDI adapter. Okay, I'll read you what it says. Operating band 2.4 gigahertz, less than 3 milliseconds of latency, and latency is from the time you press the key to the time you hear the sound. You don't want there to be a large latency, because it will sound really weird, sort of like speaking but then hearing your mouth move. So it's not good, and it's very difficult as a performer to play if you're not hearing it when you're hitting it. So low latency is what you want. So minus 3 milliseconds, I think that's pretty low. What else? The range is 10 m. What is m? Meters, maybe? We do inches and feet here in the United States. So it's the range of how far, I guess, you have to be from this being plugged in, and then from your actual key, synthesizer or rhythm machine or whatever you're using. Battery life up to 48 hours. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's got a built-in lithium battery charged by USB cable. Everybody has those cables and the dongles for the wall, or a power brick. Charging device, USB charging cable. Okay, so let's open this one. If I'm a little out of breath, it's the whole asthma and prednisone. Oh, so they give you, you don't even have to worry about it. They give you the charging cable, which is just your standard, the one I was telling you about with the micro USB, but that's okay for charging. That's not a bad thing. I have plenty of those for charging. Okay, and you would put this end, the smaller end, in the device, and the larger end into your battery brick or your wall wart, which I'm sure if you have phones and iPhones and iPads, you have those. Another little manual, which will be handy. Okay, so this is, how am I gonna, now I'm very confused. I know that I put, I know that you put this into your, this is a 5-pin MIDI DIN. So I know I put that into my keyboard, which is what it has to communicate. But this would normally, this is the MIDI. Where am I going to put it here? All right. Need to stop the video and figure this out, because that makes no sense to me. So maybe there's another adapter. This says in and on. Okay. This is where you charge it. Now I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to read all about it. I'll be right back, I hope. Okay, so the dongle that I shared with you in the beginning of the video, and I wasn't sure where it went, this part goes on some kind of MIDI instrument or MIDI device, and the other part that I was confused at actually goes here into what you need. It's like the receiver, I guess. One is send and one is receive. So it's enabling it to become like a MIDI device, Bluetooth, which is so crazy, which means I plug this camera connection like kit into, or whatever it's called now, the USB port kit, into the lightning port here. The newer iPads have USB-C, but they have something similar, but it also has a port here. The other port is going to the battery. You need it to connect it to a battery. And the light will go on. I don't know if you can see the light on there, but there's a light on there in the back here. And that will go on. I had to set it up in the app first, and then it just worked perfectly. I didn't need to do anything after that. So you have to turn this on as well. You have to charge both. Make sure they're both fully charged. And now watch this. This sound, this that I sampled, you hear that, but you also hear the iPad. So it essentially makes anything else a MIDI controller. So that's really cool. So you could actually play something like this live, have outs, you know, your audio out. This I could see myself using because I can connect it, if I had two of these, to make two devices that only have 5-pin DIN MIDI, which is what this has, to talk to each other, to clock sync if they don't happen to have a clock sync like this one does. Some of the old keyboards, like I have a Yamaha DX7, doesn't have anything but the 5-pin MIDI. So this is actually very useful, this device that they also sell, Lekato. Isn't that cool? So without further ado, let me show you how you set this up. So you turn both on and you go back into that Cube suite. I don't love this app, but at least it works. You scan and it doesn't show it. Huh. Oh, the other keyboard's on. So I'm going to shut this. And by the way, I have been using this. I mean, my goodness, it had to be 5 hours last night and like 3 hours today so far. It's a long time on one charge. So I'm going to shut this because I think it's interfering with this. So I'm going to get rid of this again and hope for the best. And it's not working. Great. Well, I'm going to shut the both of, I'll shut that off. There we go. Oh, was it off? No. That's weird. And I shut it off and it goes on. All right, so see how both of these came up? So they're treated separately. So this one here, one of them I had to do an update. I don't remember which one, so you'll have to figure that out when you get it. But you press it and it says connecting. Probably gonna have a problem because I already did connect it. So I probably should get out of that. When you go in it yourself, it'll give you some more prompts like update or whatever. Yeah, I can't do it now because I already did it. So they're here. You saw that it works. Just have patience with this manual. My goodness, I could barely read it. Look at how tiny that is. I mean, it's super tiny. I'm going to be 60 this year, you know, and wear glasses, but wow, that wasn't easy. So it's not the easiest app to deal with. I wish it could be a little easier. This works great once I did the update, and the update did work. So just follow the instructions. If I could do it, you can do it. And then, you know, it's just nice because then you can play. I mean, I didn't try any other synthesizers. I guess we could try one. Let's try Cubasis just for the heck of it and see if it just maps it right away. Let's just do a new project. Okay, and there's a piano. Yep, it worked. It's kind of cool. So it's really nice. I'm assuming it would sync correctly too. Yeah, see, it's playing it. That's nice. I just changed the sound. Wow. Let me add a few more tracks. Let's get rid of the audio track. Well, actually, let's change the piano. What happened? Oh, I got off of it. What happened? I got too excited. Let's delete this. Let's get some more. Let's do it again. MIDI. Okay, and there it is. I'm just going to go into something different. Audio units. You can use inter-app audio. Oh, Animoog Z. This is kind of cool. And what's nice is that's a really small keyboard. I mean, even though you can make this bigger, I forget how. But it's still nice to have an actual keyboard. I like that it's syncing. That's the whole beauty about MIDI, is now this is talking to this, and this is playing, but it's syncing in time with what this ARP is doing. I can definitely see myself using this. And as I said, if you have 2 of them, then you can connect more equipment. I have other analog gear and stuff that could be used, or old gear that just uses MIDI. And then that could be, they can sync together and play well together, because I like to do these videos, I don't know if you've watched them, where I use different gear at the same time. I like that. I wonder what would happen, let's stop this, if we add another track of MIDI. I hear it. This is going to be kind of cool. Let's try something different. I don't want to go too crazy, right? Kaspar. It works. You can audition different sounds that way. That's cool. I like that. Now you could shut the audio off here. You don't need to use this if you didn't want, and just use that. Or if you found something that went well together. Let me stop this. I have different patterns. Try different. See? Different now, obviously, they're not in the same key, so it doesn't sound good, because this I made, you know, on this unit. But the fact is, you could actually create something special and just say, okay, I'm going to make something that is going to work in, say, the key of whatever, D, C, and make sure that you play everything on here in that key and here. And then you can actually use both with the audio outs. You could use it just as a MIDI controller, or you can use it as an instrument. That's great. I like that this works right off the bat. I have to tell you, I do like that. So, Lekato, I like this. I like that, Lekato. So this is a blank one. You know, I could just start from scratch. I could actually record it then. See, recorded whatever I just did. Can I get the filter to work? Haven't used this in a while. Shift filter, why isn't it working? Ah, there it is. that's cool. This has been the most exciting part of this journey, is getting this to work. This is a really nice keyboard. I think in the right hands too. There are a lot of producers that are beat makers. I'm not one of them. So I love that Lekato reached out to me and asked me, and I never turned down a challenge, because this was really a cool feature. This is sold separately, so I definitely recommend that. And I'm not saying I don't recommend this. I recommend this if you are someone who uses these kind of controllers. I bet you will be able to figure it out much more quickly than I could. And perhaps if you use your computer, I don't use a Mac. I very rarely use a Mac to record. I'm more of an iPad person or iOS device person. So, and I don't have time now since I spent so much time on this video, but I may revisit depending on any advice I get about how to easily make the transports work. And if I also get another one of these, I will revisit probably to hook it up to other equipment. So thank you, Lekato. I will try to trim this video so it's not an hour long, because it's, it's funny, the smallest things or the least expensive things could take the longest to figure out. But anyway, thank you.